Today on the Tim Marner podcast show, I've got my mate Clive Powers, the owner of Radgaw, currently known as Radcliffe Glass and Windows. Clive, when did you get Radcliffe Glass and Windows? How long ago was that?
25 years ago.
25?
Yeah.
Who did you get it off? I know we've had this conversation a little bit.
We bought it off Pete Turner.
Yeah.
And he'd formed Radcliffe Glass as a glass merchant.
So when you first got it, it was Radcliffe Glass?
Yeah,
That's what it was called?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. As a glass merchant, did some double-glazed units, fitted one window every 6 months, really. Is a sort of way it was formed, really. Used to do a lot of glass shelves, mirrors, tabletop, whatever it might be. And that's the sort of thing they were doing. And my brother-in-law, Steve, he was working there. And Pete was looking to retire. So my sister was a bit worried about his job, because usually if someone takes over a company, sometimes they get rid of people who are there, don't they, if they're acquiring it. So she asked me if I was interested in buying it.
What were you doing before?
I had quite a few jobs, but I was working for General Electric, GE, which at the time were the biggest company in the world. And I moved on to a company called Transrent, where I got poached from the previous job by...
Always in sales?
Yeah, sales, marketing, finance, really. It was doing finance leasing and stuff like that for articulated trailers. So I've never even thought about windows and doors, just weren't interested really, you know. It's the same as any of our customers, they're just something in your house, aren't they? But because of my financial background, what I did was look at the accounts, because he was kind enough to let us have a look at them to see about purchasing it. And it weren't making any money. Because of the turnover, but you could see it was quite profitable. So after a lot of discussion and stuff, because I was doing very well in my job, like no one questioned me, I was always over target, exceeding things, and I decided to buy it.
What was it you saw in it, Clive?
Potential, really. I don't know, you know, when people get older, and they have a business, traditionally anyway, if you've not already sold it early on, they sometimes just get to a comfortable stage where it's like, you know, it's just giving me a wage, sick of it, don't want to be there, I'd rather be on the golf course type of thing. I think that's where Pete was at. But, I mean, I was 27 at the time, young, dumb and full of you-know-what.
Yeah.
And... Steve had been working there, my brother-in-law, for 16 years, so he already knew the business inside out. And we decided to buy it. So both went and got loans, personal loans, bought it, and then I kept my job on, because it was a risk. You can imagine it's a big risk, isn't it? So what happened was I kept my job on. And because I was so far to target all the time, like I said, no one questioned anything. So one minute I'd be suited and booted, going seeing directors of like the transport, distribution for Asda, Wincanton, etc. in a suit, do the appointment, get my jeans and t-shirt on, and learn how to cut glass, how to make double glazed units, etc. Did that for 9 months. And then it was in a position where I thought, I need to give it my all, really. And that's what we did. They thought I was mad, obviously, at the company I was working for. The usual, you buy one, get one free. Why are you doing that? I just thought I'd give it a shot. I had the entire north, like, as my area. So I was travelling to Scotland, Newcastle, all these other places. And I thought, it's 5 minutes away from where I live. So I'll be home at 5 o'clock. can sit after work at 10 to 9 and all that. But obviously, that's not what it's like when you own your own business. But yeah, it's very successful. I think we doubled the turnover in the first year.
In the first year?
Yeah.
Wow. What was that you made you do that, mate?
Well, Steve was a very good installer. He was very good at manufacturing stuff, and he taught me well. But then I recognised that, you know, this couple of windows we were doing was a little bit more profit in it. Had a little bit more mileage, and then we had some existing customers which, because of Peter and I suppose his attitude with them, you know, sometimes he couldn't be bothered. Right. They'd gone away on the kitchen side. So do you know, like when you have kitchen cupboards and you've got all the glass and you've got some fancy glasses behind it or ornaments or whatever, you used to have some contracts with quite a few kitchen companies. And I think the first week, I mean, I was proper twitchy because our outgoings were quite high with a loan rent, because we had to rent the building off it. I think our outgoings at the time would have been something like 950 quid for that week, and we took in 200 quid in a week and a half. And I thought, you know, God, what have I done? So I got all this list of customers who we used to deal with as Radcliffe Glass, and then just put suit on, tie, all that lot. Went out and seen them, said, look, Pete's no longer with the business, it's Steve, who you've known for years. Would you be interested in using us again? And they were like, yeah, we'll give you a shot. So then that took care of that side. So that started to increase again. And then the window side, really. First year we doubled turnover. Second year we doubled that. And then it's just continued to this day, really. I think we've only had 2 periods in the 25 years where we've not increased turnover. One was because I'd decided I wasn't going to do commercial anymore, because they just stick you at the end. So you do this massive great job, it's like loads of turnover, you think, yeah, that'll do, and then you pretty much complete it, and then you've just got your final little bits, and then they'll dick you for 27 grand, 32 grand, things like that. So that £500,000 turnover, sometimes a bit higher, spanning 2 years. The profit margin's not as good because they're squeezing you, and then obviously you've got to get to the end. They don't pay you. Some of them go bump and stuff like that. But it's a habit of main contractors to squeeze a little guy, squeeze him out, because, you know, you don't have all the lawyers and what have you. And I decided I wasn't going to do commercial again. So in that year we dropped turnover, because £500,000 worth of domestic windows, you know, it's a lot of windows and doors. So that first year, I think it was 2018, 2019, we took a little drop. In fact, we probably equalled the previous year exactly, before that, but then it just bounced. And then we took a drop, obviously, COVID, because we only did 9 months, didn't we? But the economy was flying, weren't it? So we did a year's turnover in 9 months, so we equalled that. And then just a lot of investment, a lot of different things, a lot of changes, the way we do things at work, and obviously we're doing a lot more. Then we were in, I think the record year was 2022. That was a big year. 2023 we contracted about 6%, and then our industry did more than that. They contracted about 18, so it's a good result on the face of it. And then last year we'd have beat the record, but we decided to have Monday and Tuesday off before Christmas and have a long Christmas, and if we'd have done them 2 days we'd have beat the record in 2022. And then obviously got 2025 where we're flying.
You won for your awards now, aren't you? Huh?
Yeah, we was up for FSB Family Business of the Year, got to the finals of that. I don't normally enter them. It's not a sort of thing I'm usually interested in. Because sometimes it's about how many tickets you've bought, you know, and it's being cynical, isn't it?
Yeah.
But sometimes you think, I don't want to spend $3,500 on a table so I can pick up an award, because the award's not really justifiable. Not in my eyes, anyway. And so, I had my fingers burnt with that particular award. I thought, well, you know, there's only a few of us, didn't know anyone there. I shan't mention what it was for. And then there's one in our industry, which is the GGP National Installer Awards. And everything in our industry, it's all about the manufacturers, profile companies, things like that, rather than the actual installers. So we're like front end, aren't we? You know, we're installing their products. So I thought, I'll give it a bash. So I just entered it. I was doing it in Antigua, actually, on this like little tablet computer. Giving it this. Never took a computer away with me in my life. And I tried to enter 5, but I couldn't. I didn't have enough time. I was on holiday, drunk, this that and the other. But I managed to get 3 in. We reached the final of 3, and then we won the best feature door installation, which nationally is amazing, isn't it? So I thought, well, that was good. Let's enter it again, 2025. So we entered, I think it was 5 categories, got in 5 finals, and then we won 1. So it's a great relief, because you know you've been like crowned best in the UK at what you do. So it's good for the team. It's good for me as the owner of the company, you know, we're doing something right, and all the hard work is worth it, and it's been recognised. But then we won a second one on the same day, so it's the only double award winners of the day, which was pretty cool. And we got a lot of, you know, quite a bit of publicity from that. It's good to have. I think you've done some work, obviously, with us, haven't you, with regards to it, and letting people know that we're triple award winners. I think it just gives people that trust, doesn't it, that they're dealing with a good company, not just some little company from Radcliffe, which is sometimes what the company could have been perceived as before. But yeah, I won that. Thinking of entering, obviously, 2026. We've just got to try and pick the right installations. Unfortunately, some of them are huge, but they're not finished yet. We've got one particular one which I think could win best feature door, but it's not arrived yet. We've got to have the entries in October, so we're just seeing if it arrives in time. But yeah, it's good. I think it was a lift for the team. It was a lift for me personally, really.
Can you talk to me about the Goldman Sachs bit of it, because it's interesting, that, mate. That's such a big, you know, you getting sort of, what's the word, nominated, like accepted as a, what's the...
No, I mean, it's changed now. It has changed, but when it was in its infancy, I mean, it's unbelievable.
What was it? A Goldman Sachs entrepreneurial...
Yeah, so Goldman Sachs can be seen as being quite mercenary in the marketplace, because they, you know, one of the largest banks, if not the largest in the world, aren't they? So as part of their socially responsible projects...
Doing it for the little guy.
Yeah, they came up with the idea of something called 10KSB, which is 10,000 small businesses. So I don't necessarily know when they started off on the journey, they knew how successful it'd be. But the idea was to, in different countries around the world, was to increase the economy by using small, medium enterprises rather than just blue chip and corporate and this, that and the other. So it was brought to my attention by a guy who he'd just come in a few times here and there, and I quite liked him, and he just said, "You're an ideal candidate for it." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He says you'd flourish on it. And I think at the time he'd done 3 cohorts, and you have 2 or 3 cohorts a year. He says, "I think you should enter it." I was like, "Not really got time, mate. I'm working 24 hours a day as it is. Don't think it's of interest." Anyway, he pestered me a few more times. I thought, you know what, I'll take a look at it. So he takes a look at it, and I thought, it's pretty interesting that. It's Goldman Sachs, so coming from a finance banking background, I obviously respect how well they do, etc. And I thought, right, I'll send me the forms then. And what you have to do, you fill in these forms. And it's sort of like to get you in front of a board. It's a little bit like Dragon's Den. So that's the first hurdle. So you have to do your entry, you send it off, and then they shortlist you, and then they do a few other bits, and then they invite you to go in. And basically sell your business as to why you deserve 80 grand's worth of free training.
Is that what it was, 80 grand's worth of training?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, which is huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because they don't want to waste it on anyone. They want people who are dedicated and so on and so on. And had to go, went to the Northern Quarter. God, it's probably about 14 years ago, 12 years ago. And the Northern Quarter was coming up then, weren't it?
Yeah.
Like, getting really funky, quite hipstery and stuff. And I went on it was a Friday, and I was the last one to be seen on the Friday. And I thought, oh shit, that's a bad position to be in. Some of them have travelled.
Yeah, they're a bit tired.
Knackered.
Yeah.
They want to get back on that train, get it over and done with as soon as possible. So went in, like I said, I think there were 3 or 4 of them, and it was just straight away. It was like, they were showing a bit of disdain, really. Like, so you're double-glazing business? I'm like, well, no, that's not just what we are. And I remember one of them going like, "How about the thing?" He's put it down. He goes, "You buy one, you get one free. What's different about you?" And then I was off. I went into defence mode, really.
Did you?
Yeah. I thought, what do you mean? You're just a double-glazing company. So I was boom. And then did it. They went, "Right, thanks for your time. We'll be in touch." I thought, well, good. Rang Kelly. Goes, "Oh, that didn't go well, that." She went, "Why?" I told her. She went, "Oh," she says, "well, you never know." Anyway, next news. Got it.
How many people applying for it, Clive? Do you know?
Yeah, it's thousands.
Yeah.
Thousands, really. There's a lot of businesses. That was for the Manchester one.
Yeah.
So, the thing what was daunting at the time was I was already working long hours.
Yeah.
Still doing Saturday mornings then as well. And you had to dedicate one Wednesday every week for about 8 or 10 weeks or whatever it was. I thought, how am I going to do that? So then I spoke with my team at the time and said, look, this is what I'm looking at doing to try and develop myself, develop the company. So I need you on Wednesdays to try and leave me alone as much as possible, really. And then went, and you have 25 people in the cohort, and they're all from every type of business. I'm talking like there's pharmaceutical company, creative, me in home improvements, kitchen company, all sorts. It's like a broad spectrum, but a common thing is, and it was very hard to sort of grasp it, really, because you're selling a business in your mind, don't you? And you're trying to do the best you can. But he said, you're entrepreneurs. I thought, I'm not an entrepreneur. I know what entrepreneurs are, I'm not one. But then you start doing the training and you realise, relatively early on in the journey, really, you realise you are. you're forging your own path and you're trying to create something. And it's just surprising the way they do all the different modules. Every company is exactly the same. It doesn't matter what you're selling, whether it's service or product, everybody's exactly the same. And you go through the training. We had some amazing training off all the top bods, who they drafted in, loads of breakout sessions. Some of the times you're thinking, well, that won't work in a smaller company, but a lot of it does, your vision, your culture. And it's just an unbelievable experience. So I graduated from that. And then they asked me to do, that was a local one in Manchester. There's probably about 8 or 9 locations across the UK, Leeds, London and so on. They asked me to do the Oxford one, which is called the Ambassador Programme. So, Joe, I don't know whether you've done much academic stuff yourself.
No.
But I was a bit, I don't know, burnt out with it, do you know what I mean? Doing my business, going there every Wednesday for so long, doing all these different things. And then we did things to continue the relationship. So we had a meeting once a month and stuff with our cohort members. I thought, I don't think I can do another one straight off the bounce. And I want to put the stuff I've learned into practice, you're giving me this, which is amazing. I'm forever grateful. It's a life-changing thing. But I've not had a chance to try it.
Implement it.
Yeah, and put it in my business. So they're a little bit, not dismissive, but they were a little bit like, you could ruin your chances here. I was like, why? And they said, because we do 3, sometimes 4 now, because it's ramping up. Because like I said, I was cohort 5, so it was real early doors. I don't think they ever got it right since. That was a perfect one. And they said, we're doing 3 or 4 nationwide, times by 9, 25. You're putting yourself under even more competition because you've got the previous cohorts as well who want to get on the ambassador program. I was like, well, I understand what you mean now. I'm slimming down the odds, aren't I? But let me, give it a go. Put it into practice and I'll apply next year. So that's what I did. The business.
Did it?
Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff, it was just it's like a switch, especially the financial side. I think we spoke about that, haven't we? Yeah. Because I already knew a bit about that with General Electric, Capital Bank.
Yeah, you've got a good mind with finances, mate, haven't you? But giving you that extra...
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking, top...
Yeah.
Aren't you?
Oh, God, yeah.
Some of the stuff you tell me, I'm just fucking blown my mind.
It sounds silly, yeah, because I'm into what you do, all the creativity and stuff, and I wish I could implement some of the creative side I've got. But when you get into numbers and you know the data and you know certain things, it's an exciting thing to do, believe it or not, because you're taking charge of your own business and actually the results, how it appears to the outside world sometimes. If I'm looking to borrow money, things have got to look great, haven't they? If I'm not looking to borrow money in that fiscal year, I can try and take as much profit out as I want. I'm not bothered about my balance sheet. I'm not bothered about my profit and loss. So it just teaches you about that. And we had a really good guy teaching us that on the Manchester one. But when I applied for the Oxford, again, I just left it. I thought I've no chance, really. This is, that's creme de la creme. And I got it. And that was a residential one. So I was in the Margaret Thatcher Suite in Said Business School. We had head of Pepsi Cola marketing. He was teaching us. Just the sort of stuff that it doesn't matter no matter how successful your business is, if you weren't in that Goldman Sachs program, which is huge, you'd never get to see the things we saw and what we were taught. Is just privileged, you know. That was really good. That so then coming off that, you just feel like you're well equipped, well armed for business really, and any business, you know, it gives you that confidence of structure, how to do things, you know, etc.
Do you think you could say, get another business now and just start it up and it just be successful?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Amazing that, mate, isn't it?
I suppose, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just how I feel. I mean, one of the things I sometimes think is if I retired from Radcliffe Glass, or should I say Radgaw, yeah, what would I do? I'd like to maybe do mentoring, business coaching, because it's easier when it's like not your business, 100%. Because you know when they say you can't see, you know, the wood for the trees, it's very true. Because in your own business, you've got this pressure, that pressure, you've got something else happening there. You know, you're wearing different hats.
Yeah, you're making decisions from scarcity sometimes. Right?
Yeah.
Right, we need to get this in.
Got to get that. That's going to have to be shelved. Yeah. So on and so on. But yeah, I feel I could acquire a business, set up a business, and make it perform very well. I feel I could teach other small, medium enterprise businesses how to do it for small fee. And we did it. I think I might have told you when we did the initial chat.
Yeah. I mean, I know I'm just breaking in what's it, mate, but like, where, because obviously Radcliffe Glass Windows, you're doing really well, and then all of a sudden you reached out to us. Right? What was in your mind at that point? What were you like?
Well, that was September last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's nearly a year.
Yeah.
So with the Goldman Sachs thing, you do long planning. So I had a 10-year plan, 5, 2, 1. And it was it'd always been that I wanted to rebrand. And it was due to a few things what I'd tried before. But it was in the 10th year, because it soon comes round, that it's in your 1-year plan. But that's what I was going to say earlier, before you rudely interrupted. I'm only joking.
Hey, my podcast, mate, not me. What the fuck I want.
I know, I'm only joking. I tried it with Bolton Windows, if you remember.
Yeah. So
back then, if you was 0161 in Bolton, you're dead.
Yeah.
You're dead.
Yeah.
It's like the other side of the world. So I thought, right, how can we crack Bolton? So we set up Bolton Windows. Went in Little Lever, and just hit the ground running like that. It was unreal. Like, just went in there, replicated, different logo, different name, off we went. It was doing really well. And then I cut my nose off to spite my face, like a lot of business owners do, because you think, I'm being told this or that, and do I have to put the rent up? And I thought, no, I've done all this. I've made it like this. When I got it, it was a shithole. I've turned it into this amazing thing. No. If you put it up, I'm going. Anyway, they said, right, go. Which I was good at. But I saw how that worked at that time. I thought, so in my mind, for many years, was to have Bolton windows, Oldham windows, Salford, bah. But then in the plan, because of the rebrand, it was coming in, I thought, I want to do it a different way. And then, obviously, I'd seen some of your social media, which is very good. And I thought, do you know what, I like him. He's sort of like a bit out there.
Bit.
Yeah, just a bit. I thought that'd be a refreshing change, because the person I'd been working with prior, he was fantastic and he'd helped get us to that stage and he got us to the level where he's at. But it just seemed a bit stale. Do you know, like monotonous, really? The same sort of thing, the same sort of advert. There's no like sexy speak. I always remember he used to say, you sell the sizzle, Clive, not the sausage. I thought, well, where's the sizzle, mate? But no, I mean, he was absolutely fantastic and he got us to that point. And then, because of the way you are sometimes on the social media, I thought, I like him, but will I get on? I told you, didn't I? Yeah. I thought, you know what? I'm going to give it a whirl. So I filled in the form on your website or whatever it was at the time. And then come back. Really nice presentation. Thanks for your interest. Betty. I thought, oh God, that's my mum's name. Right, that's slick. So I responded, then something else come back, slick. I thought, these are slick. These are really like, this is a sort of thing like I want. And then obviously he come, and then we just chewed the fat, didn't we?
Yeah, good mate, yeah.
Really, for a good while. And that was it. I was in. Could relate to you, got on with you. You had the same mindset of what I had, really. Yeah. Which is sometimes hard to find, isn't it, in other people, especially if it's in either something you're wanting to buy yourself or purchase or what have you. Well, yeah, that was it. I was in from that first meeting, really. Yeah.
You had the sausage, mate, didn't you? I just brought that extra sizzle that you needed.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
The business was running goal. It just like, it wasn't that, the brand just wasn't, you know.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, you turn up the heat, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. You know, and we was already on for a good year. Obviously, we didn't do anything with yourselves with regards to the rebranding.
Well, that's why it was interesting for me, mate. The business is already doing well.
Yeah.
But someone like yourself, and at least I'm going to say entrepreneur, who's got that visionary to go, now's the perfect time to rebrand.
Yeah, yeah.
And most people are like, oh, we'll leave it till the last minute to rebrand.
Yeah.
What a perfect time to just like turn it and then...
Yeah, and I think because we've done so well and we're doing well, I wanted more. Yeah. I didn't want to just sort of like be pigeonholed as... I mean, I'm Radcliffe born and bred. I still live in Radcliffe. Yeah. But there's a bit of snobbery in various areas about Radcliffe. They call it Dog Shit Valley sometimes and things like that. And I also wanted to go... We're talking about the Bolton windows, Oldham windows, so on and so on. I just wanted to go further afield, so I just felt it was time to keep Radcliffe Glass and Windows Limited. You know, it's always going to be that. You can't drop a 46-year trading company, can you? No. What's successful. And that history, especially in our industry, because our industry is full of like charlatans, isn't it? You all know who you are. Yeah. So it was, I don't know. I think one of the things you said were brave at some point. Like, it just felt, the timing just felt right.
Brave, mate. Brave.
It felt right.
Yeah.
I think the bravest thing was filling in the big document. And you're telling me you don't give me a mood board. You don't show me any colours, you don't show me nothing or anything like that. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's big for you.
Oh, God, what you seen? Like,
to be honest, mate, I enjoyed saying it to you because I knew it.
I need to see something. Yeah, I need to see something. Come on, give us a clue. 9. And that felt like, I don't know, just, I'm giving you, apart from my family, my most like precious possession here. Yeah. And you've got to create a brand for me. So that was one of the brave things I think I did in 2024. But obviously it was worth it, as you know.
Yeah. It's just we've never talked about it much, have we, really? You know, obviously we've got to know each other a little bit better, and, you know, just being that, having that, business is doing really well. I'm thinking, well, why does he want to rebrand? It's a perfect time to rebrand for me when you're doing that, because you want to amplify your message with that brand. You want to amplify your business, you get your brand right. That's what I think.
Yeah, and also sometimes the economy. This is another thing with the 10KSB with Goldman Sachs. So I have an interest in the economy, and I think as a business owner, you need to know the economy inside out. You need to know what's coming up next year so you can plan. People go, oh God, NI's gone up. It's like, yeah, they told you 18 months ago. Minimum wage or whatever, it's there. So you should always be ahead of the game, shouldn't you? But I also knew that the economy was faltering a little bit, 2023, 2024. And so that's the time to attack. And that's what you do, you attack. I did it in the recession, did it in COVID to a little degree, and then pulled back because it was just, this is how much it is for your windows, when can you fit them? You know, there's no price thing, but you can tell if you're as close up to your business as I am, and you look at the figures and you look at stuff and data, you can see that things have changed.
Dips.
Yeah. So I just thought, I knew it weren't going to happen in 2024, but I thought 2025, we've got to go for it. Because, you know, battening down the hatches and sitting back and waiting for the phone to ring, you know, you've had it, haven't you? So this is why the decision was sort of like confirmed in September with you. Launched mid-December, just before Crimbo, weren't it? It's a good Christmas present. And then obviously told the team we was doing it, and then kept it a secret until June the 6th.
Yeah, the brand review was great, mate, weren't it? What was you like going into the brand review where we showed it to all the staff? Like, what were you thinking before? Like,
I don't know, Joe, when you want them to love it as much as you love it. And you like that with your own company anyway, aren't you? No matter what.
Yeah.
And I almost think, like, because it took quite a long time to sort of like implement things, get things in place, because how much planning was there? There's a lot of planning involved in it. Yeah. I don't think...
To do it properly.
Yeah, to do it like...
The way you've done it.
Yeah, and doing it in a like real strategic manner. There's a lot involved. And I almost thought, oh God, they've known about this rebrand now for over 6 months. It's going to be an anticlimax. Do you know what I mean? You're like, shit, built it up too much. I've done this, I've done that. Oh. And I just wanted them to love it. And I think they was going to be my biggest critics, really. Not necessarily outside world, because, you know, this is our brand, this is who we are. You know, we want to install your windows, doors, whatever. But because they're very important to me, the team, I wanted them to get buy-in and like it as much as I did, which thankfully they did. You know, I mean, it's the previous marketing, the logo, it was fine, weren't it? It did great. This was to mark our wider aspirations, really. And I think with some of the stuff you said, it's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? Like Radcliffe Glass and Windows. Radgaw sounds a bit cool.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, it was. I think I was more nervous about that, almost as nervous as about coming on here. Yeah, very, very nervous about that, because I just thought he'd go, is that it? But you can't, can you? I mean, you can't, can you? I mean, it just all come together, colours, everything. Just buzzing with it.
Yeah. So from doing that, mate, what do you do after you've got the rebrand? Obviously, you've done so much planning. The building looks amazing. The signs look insane.
Yeah.
You've done that. Now, what's in your head pushing Radgaw forward now when it comes to Clive and how he does that? I mean, it's not like you need to push it. You know what I mean? It does really well, but
no, I think that. I mean, me and Kelly laugh about it quite a bit.
yeah, shout out to old Kelly
For
putting up with you.
Oh no, that's why it's silver. You get a medal, don't you? There's always something. I said, look, can we not just have a year?
Yeah.
I'm like, why? She's like, there's always something. There's always this. There's always that. There's something else. And I think if you're always moving forward, really, you're going to succeed. If you take your foot off the gas and decide to coast a bit, cruise control, other people come in, take a slice of your cherry, don't they? Bump. You've got competition coming in, and if you're not always moving forward, being the first at something, having the best this, and looking like you are the best, and you're the ultimate choice. If you're having your windows done, you can start to lose business, and then you start to flatline, and when you start flatlining, it just goes into a decline. So there is always something. The plan is the rebrand for this year. I mean, that's a heavy investment. Sometimes I think you could take the money and run, couldn't you? Sort of thing. But this isn't about 2025, 2026, 27. It's until, I no longer own it, and whatever happens, really. It's in the long-term planning. So, I think for me now, it's about cementing the name, because we're in this transitional period, as you know, aren't we?
Yeah.
We don't want to lose the Radcliffe Glass and Windows customers, because they've been very loyal to us. They come back, they recommend us, do all these different things for us. You need to keep them. Something like 30% of our turnover is usually existing customers, believe it or not. Coming back for the back of the house or orangery, whatever it might be. And then a high percentage is recommendations from these customers. So that was a bit of a nerve-wracking time, thinking, it's Radcliffe Glass and Windows. Who's Radgaw? Have they gone bump? What's happened to Radcliffe Glass and Windows?
I think that's when we came up with the name. We were very mindful of keeping, the anagram side of it, so we could always refer back to it.
Yeah, and I think what it does as well sometimes, because we're in that transitional period at the moment with a website. So you type in, obviously, Radcliffe Glass and Windows. We've got a skin on it at the moment with the new stuff, and it'll introduce, thanks for contacting Radgaw, the home of Radcliffe Glass and Windows.
Perfect.
And then we did some good stuff with yourselves.
Yeah.
So, and Lee, with Manager, which we're still developing, and it's going to just be unreal. Yeah. And that was to send out emails to customers about the brand reveal. So it was like we did on social media, didn't we? Yeah. It was like a ticking down to launch, really.
Yeah. It's just a bit like, what we're doing, mate, it's just a bit like Jenga, and we're just, putting the pieces and just build it and just adding on layers and layers and layers. Yeah. And so it's just at that point where it's just so slick and everything's exactly the people. People, like you said, they need to understand that it takes a while.
Oh, God.
To do it properly like you've done it, mate, it's legit how you've done it. Them signs, when you've had to powder coat all the outsides, like what date are we going to be doing that for when the signs go up to get the brand reveal done, to get all the stationery, all the hoodies done, and then when's the website going to be going live to, like we're doing this countdown on
answer machine messages, just all the things that
email signatures, the works.
It is like mind-blowing, you know. A few times the bandwidth was at full stretch with work and this and everything else. But I think if you're going to do it, you do it.
Do it properly.
You don't do it half-assed. It's pointless. You know, like we could just change the logo to that. You know, nice icon. Which is mint in it. And then Radcliffe Glass Windows under it. Would it have changed anything? No, not really. I mean, it's a bit of a line in the sand, isn't it? Is what we're doing. It's like, right.
I think that's a nice way to put it, mate. This isn't sort of like, it's not scratched in the sand, this is like etched in stone, this. Because we're not talking about a year, we're talking about 5 years or 10 years. So I don't think you can do it in the sand, and it might last a little while, but it's just going to get washed away. You've got to fucking etch it out of stone.
I mean, you've got to put your whole heart and soul into it. You know, and I think I have done. And it's still a long way on the journey, isn't there? You know, there's lots more to do. There's lots of other plans. We're developing the land at the side for Radgaw, and then the software side of it. And like you said, just being slick. And that's what attracted me to Tim Marner in the first place, from the social media. And then when I did the contact, it was just seamless, and I thought, this is nice. And you get a bit of a flavour before I'd even met you. And that's what I want our customers to see, because we are different to other double-glazing companies. You know, it's not all about ripping off someone's granny and stuff like that. We have like a fair pricing policy, so everybody gets the same fair crack of the whip. And that's unusual in our industry, because you can get someone who's a really shit-hot salesman, and he'll sell a terrace house for 16 grand, and that's a $5,500 job. So you're ripping someone off, aren't you? You know, so there's just lots of different things what I want the whole of the UK to know about Radgaw, not just the Northwest. I mean, we've not got the physical attributes to go national, but I told you we've got a 10, 5 to 1 year plan. So in 5-10 years we could be, you know. So and I think Radgaw is something what could take us on that journey, isn't it? Because, you know, it's not localised. You know, I could open, if I so wished, I might go to Warrington, open a Radgaw store there. It's fine. I could go, I'm not going to, I could go to Inverness. It's just transferable. So I think it's great for the future aspirations of the company and the team. You know, and I think I said about the economy, it's not always about doing better and things like that. Sometimes it's about security, isn't it? You know, in our industry, the companies going pop. The big boys, Safestyle went, Everest went, Anglian are looking shaky. Loads of the big companies are going, and they all these what? They're almost. Do you remember? Was it Woolworths who went? And it was like everyone was like, "Oh my God, Woolworths have gone." It's that sort of thing in our industry.
Forgotten about that.
Yeah.
Woolworths, it's an institution.
But Safestyle were an institution in our industry. We didn't like them, no one likes them, because it's like proper high-pressured sales, things like that. We think, God, Safestyle have gone. That's mad. Everest have gone. You know, and you think, so then a lot of this really, the investment in this year was, been a successful year the year before. If we're not going to do it now, when are we going to do it? Because you don't do it when the chips are down, do you? Because it's a massive investment. Can take your eye a little bit away from the day-to-day. So just perfect timing, really. But planned. Yeah.
Let me ask you this, mate. If you were going to give somebody just starting up their own business, right, what's the first piece of advice that you give someone just starting off the business? I know I'm like kind of putting it out there for you, like, but
that's a question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't think it's going to be like working for someone else.
Yeah.
Is what I'd say, because if you're passionate about business and you want it to succeed, it's 24/7. It doesn't mean you're working 24/7, but your mind's always on it, isn't it?
Yeah. I said it the other day. It's just like it's not the fact that I work hard. It's just I work a lot. And like you said, when you're like abroad, or you're like, what you're always thinking, your head's always on that. That is still working. You are working a lot, but the trick is not to work hard.
Yeah, I mean, I think I might have not quite got the mix right yet. I still work hard.
Yeah.
Do the long hours, but it's a lot easier if you work on something you love.
Yeah.
I still love it. I still love the buzz of success and challenges and things like that. I love my team. So sometimes it doesn't always feel like working. It feels like, right, this is what we're going to do. I want to do this. But
that's the bit for you that's exciting, isn't it? Because like Kelly said to you, it's just like, it's never enough, is it? You'll get that thing that you want and then you're on to the next thing. It'll last about a minute and then your ADHD brain's on to like, okay, what are we doing now? So I'm like, what, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think like if you're going to, set up your own business, you've got to be passionate about it. You've got to be prepared to work. And I think we mentioned it earlier, just know your financials. Just make sure you're not getting ahead of yourself. Most businesses fail in the first 18 months, don't they? And a lot of that's to do with the fact that they've not accounted for the tax liability. They've had a great 6 months. So they've gone out, they get this car, or they go up Selfridges, they buy this, they buy that. And they're like, yeah, top boss. And then
top boss.
They've had that for a while.
Top boss.
But do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they get excited, and it's easy. It's easy to get carried away and excited, but you just always have to. And that was something GE taught me, General Electric. They have something called a war fund, and a war fund is where you've got enough money to be able to continue trading for 6 months.
Right.
Without turning a wheel, and everyone's still staying same seats. Everyone just stays there, and not. God, we've had a bad month. I don't think we're going to be able to pay the team. Might get a loan. And then you're just on a hide into nothing, aren't you? So you just got to make sure that you don't get carried away. Retain some money into the business as working capital for investment, and just be sensible, but obviously have fun at the same time. People sometimes think like me and Kelly have this lavish lifestyle, but that's been planned as well. We're relatively cheap, so apart from holidays and cars, but we just don't. We're not eating out 4 times a week, 5 times a week sometimes, getting takeouts every day, going to Selfridges every other week. We just don't do that sort of thing, believe it or not. And I just think it's just having that right mindset, and all these things are just materialistic things anyway, aren't they? For me and Kelly and my girls, Ellie and Freya, what happens is travel's our big thing, memories. Rather than that lump of metal, what's cost you a fortune or what have you. But I do feel that most small businesses, they just get carried away.
Yeah.
And they think they can have that, and in this age of Instagram and things like that, this guy I know, he's selling this, he's doing that, he's got a Lamborghini now, and it's like, it's not real, is it, half of it? But I just think that's why I'd say, just don't get carried away and realise there's probably 5 to 10 years before you get anywhere near that, really. Because you want to take on more people, don't you, staff? You want to try and do more strategic stuff. Because I used to do it all, didn't I? So I used to cut the glass, I used to make the double glazed units, used to go out with Steve fitting windows. Then I used to go out selling. So I'd be selling, like, because I was making double glazed units in the day and all these mirrors and stuff. I'd be then going out selling 2 appointments after 5 o'clock, getting home sometimes at 9:30 after you've sold your little art out in someone's house, saying ours are the best windows. And I think people have a very high expectation and put too much pressure on themselves early doors, and they compare themselves to longer established companies. Whereas you don't, I think you just go your own path. Yeah. I say that to everyone at work, you know, we're in our own little bubble. It's not to say we've not got a target on other companies' backs, but we do our thing. We're in our own bubble. And if they're falling by the wayside, that's great. But as long as we keep doing what we're doing and don't get distracted by that, you know, we should be here for another 25 years, shouldn't we?
So, mate, if anybody's looking for windows, doors or glazing, where can people find you? Where should they go to?
Obviously, Radgaw.
Correct. So, radgaw.co.uk, Instagram, Radgaw.
And it's currently Radcliffe Glass at the moment.
Oh, is it still waiting for Instagram? Right,
yeah,
okay,
at Radcliffe Glass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, sound. Thanks. Good that, mate.
Is that it?
That's easy. Told you, what are we nervous about?
I
Thanks
feel like
for listening, everybody. Goodbye.